Welcome to the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Ducks, poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama Show. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree.
All right, everybody. I hope you guys are doing very, very well. I personally am doing great. But again, I heard the most ridiculous statement. Kathy R., welcome. Good to see you. Heard the most ridiculous comment. And, you know, look, you just tell the truth, right? You just go ahead and put the facts out there. While we're waiting for a few more people to arrive, I will say this. Lee Mongerson Gilly, he is a guy in Houston, Texas, multimillionaire, owns a software development company. He was supposed to be starting his trial the first part of June. They were supposed to do the preliminary hearing, and he is accused of murdering his pregnant wife. And he somehow, his attorney is Dick DeGuerin, if you can imagine. But somehow or another, he managed, with $1 million bond in Harris County, an ankle monitor on his leg. He managed to get the ankle monitor off, somehow traveled to Montreal, Canada, where he boarded a flight with a fake Belgium passport. Now, when he got to Italy, they caught him at immigration. They said, this is a fake passport. This isn't real. So he wasn't granted access into the country, correct? But he was arrested. There has been a hearing that's like certified the arrest, that it was a good arrest. They could hold him. They still have to have another hearing for extradition, right? So they don't know. This is the craziest story. And Dick DeGuerin, you need to get your butt out on TV and give an explanation how it is that your multi-million-dollar client ended up with a fake Belgium passport. Like, Dick DeGuerin, who do you know that can do fake passports? That to me is one of the craziest parts of the story. Where did he get the passports? This guy is a nerdy kind of, software development, living down in the Heights. The Heights is a very wealthy part of Houston. Living down in the Heights, being all frou-frou with his frou-frou friends. Where did this bozo find someone to make a fake Belgium passport? Where? That's the story, right? And then even more important than the fake passport, how did he travel? They cut off, he literally cut off the ankle monitor. It registered and said that the band was being tampered with. And he was able to go from Houston to Montreal. The police went over to his house, knocked on the door. He didn't answer. The guy is on $1 million bond for murder. He didn't answer the door. What did the cops do? Houston's finest. Just turned around and walked away. Never tried to make contact with the dude again. Can you believe this story? if it hadn't been for Italy, actually real law enforcement, apparently, he could be living up in the Alps somewhere, nobody to ever find him again, right? So quite a story developing down here in Texas. We'll just wait and see how it all unfolds. It's just not even like a real story. It's like something in a book. It is crazy. So it will definitely be interesting when it all is said and done. It will definitely be interesting to find out how he managed this. So Dick DeGoran, movie star kind of attorney. He's Texas' finest attorney. So he is very interesting. The other cat that is interesting in this story is the judge, right? So the judge is interesting. He is a well-connected Republican, known Republican. So his friends on the weekends, he hangs out with people like W. You know who W is? Bush, the young President George Bush. Okay. So the judge's little friends are George Bush's he's in George Bush's inner circle. There's a couple of the astronauts that are kind of seen often, like on the golf course or at the country club with this group of people. So the judge is a very well connected Republican dude. And as soon as the story broke that they caught this guy in immigration in Italy, the judge immediately, I'm talking about immediately, within minutes, turned around and filed the papers for dude to give up his $1 million bond. So that $1 million goes to the city of Houston now, right? So the talk among the locals is, oh, there's funny business with the $1 million. Somebody's going to pocket the $1 million, but you don't know because people talk and they don't really know, right? But it's just, I think it's interesting because it adds another layer of intrigue. What went wrong? How does the guy cut his ankle monitor off? No, you get 2 police officers come knock on the door and no more follow-up. This allows the man time to get to Montreal. When he gets to Montreal, why didn't he fly out of Bush Airport? What was the story? If he had a passport, what was that about? Or is there someone in Montreal that would sort of give a wink and a nod and go, yeah, sure, go right on through? I mean, there's some people they're saying this has the marks of like government kind of help, right? That there's somehow the story just can't happen in today's modern law enforcement, and yet it did. So the story is developing. Right now, he is in custody, has been moved to the central part of the country, and he's actually being housed like in a prison, right? And the next step is an extradition hearing. The complication with the extradition hearing is that Italy, as part of the EU, they will not extradite if the person is under danger of a death penalty. If they're going back to a place that is going to charge them with capital crimes where they have execution. The way that the law reads in Italy is either you cannot allow for extradition if the person is charged with the death penalty, or, now this part made me chuckle, or if they're charged with a capital crime and they're found guilty, the state is not allowed to kill them. So even though they have this extradition protection against death penalty cases, it's kind of gray and murky, right? It's kind of weird. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I think this is gonna when this story when the preliminary hearing comes, I think this will be one of those stories that like the big channels will pick up, law and crime and whatnot. They'll end up really picking this up and following it because just the involvement of Dick DeGuerin himself, it will be enough to capture a lot of interest. But then the escape to Italy and the passport is a lot. It is. Yeah, it's Kathy R. It's a case of money, right? It's like those people that have money, they live by a different set of rules than me and you do. So we just don't know what those rules are. We admit if that was me and you, we would never have been allowed to cut off our ankle monitor and then go across the country to Montreal. We would have been caught 10 different times. So we don't know what the story is a weird one, and we just have to kind of wait and see how it all unfolds. So very quickly, and then I won't be here very long because I'm working today. So Brittany J has really been telling some whoppers, big, strange prevarication, that doesn't seem to have any purpose at all. Like the things that she's saying that are verifiably untrue, they just don't serve any purpose. Like, what would be the point of saying it, right? Unless she's coming up with these things as a part of a grift. Like she's using these little tales and these little statements to inspire other people, the subscribers in her chat, to feel bad for her, to feel sorry for her. And when they start feeling sorry, they start sending super chats, right? So maybe that would explain it. I can't really rightly say why she's doing it. All I can do with pure honesty, being completely above board, factually honest, all I can do is just point out when she is saying these things that are factually wrong, untrue. Okay. The one thing that she said recently, she said that her doctor put her on a liver diet. Did y'all hear that? So she's in her chat, she's talking, and maybe about, like, I don't know, being low on iron or some maybe she had some kind of reason, but she claimed that as a pregnant woman, she was put on a liver diet. Well, immediately I was like, what? Wait, why are you lying? There is not a doctor in this country, in the civilized world, that would put a pregnant woman on a liver diet. That ain't gonna happen. Now remember, her reasoning for this was that she was low on iron, but they make prenatal vitamins for that. There is also ferrous sulfate that if you know that you're going to be getting pregnant, the obstetricians want you to start taking, folic acid. They want you to start taking it 6 months or so before you get pregnant, because it cuts down on the possibility of spina bifida. All right. So it's pretty standard that when you go to the doctor and they say, yay, congratulations, you're pregnant, they give you a prescription for prenatal vitamins and folic acid or ferrous sulfate, right? That's a pretty standard regimen for the newly pregnant. Well, they wouldn't prescribe you a liver diet if you're low on iron, because the medication, the supplements work great. They work just fine. The folic acid does what it's supposed to do. It's great. It's not a problem. Now, she claimed that she was put on a liver diet to help with her low iron levels, but in truth, doctors tell pregnant women, first of all, avoid organ meats across the board. There's a lot of problems that can happen with organ meats that are not properly slaughtered or stored, right? So that's first off the bat, don't eat organ meats. The liver is absolutely an organ, and it's a nasty organ. I know a lot of people like it. I personally can't, my brain will not allow me to even put a bite in my mouth. But it's a pretty nasty organ. It's a filter. It filters out toxins and things like that, right? So doctors, obstetricians, OBGYNs, they tell pregnant women, let's not really even eat liver if we can avoid it, please. There are very, very high levels of not iron. There are very high levels of retinol. You heard me right. Preformed vitamin A. And if you have too much retinol and you have a developing fetus, especially in the first, second trimester, you can actually damage the development of your child. You can give birth to a child that has birth defects, right? If, and please understand, the obstetricians say, let's just not have any. Let's just wait until you're no longer preggers, right? That's their advice. Don't eat it. If you must, like if you just love this stuff, you just can't get enough of liver, then your liver consumption while pregnant should be no more than once every 2 to 3 weeks, with portion sizes of about 30 grams. Do you know how much 30 grams is? Maybe the size of an Oreo. Okay. Maybe a Chips Ahoy cookie, okay? But you can hold it in your hand. Now remember, they're going to say none at all. They're going to do everything they can to tell you, let's don't do this at all. We're not going to eat it all. But if you just got to have your liver, you are jonesing for some liver, a piece the size of a cookie every 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I ask you guys this. Does this sound like a doctor would put any pregnant woman, even the special Brittany J, on a liver diet? No, because vitamin A, high levels of vitamin A, can damage the developing fetus. That's the truth. So even when you have like your supplements, your prenatal vitamins, they will not have the preformed vitamin A in them. You get your vitamin A from plants, sweet potatoes, spinach. It's in smaller doses that your body can metabolize sufficiently, reducing what gets dumped into the bloodstream for the baby to use. So plant vitamin A, it basically in terms of like vegetables that would have like keratin in it, right? That is, if you are pregnant, that is the route to know that you're getting what you need for vitamin A. But the babies know that the fetuses, that's not a good thing to have the first and second trimester. So is it funny? Is it funny that she would say that the doctor put her on a liver diet because she's low in iron? Yeah, there's plenty of people that say, oh, if you're low in iron, the old people tell you, if you're low in iron, you need to eat some liver, right? That's like the old wives stuff, right? But if you're pregnant, the doctors are going to say, No, 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 no. You don't want that. We don't eat any organ meat. None. Don't eat any organ meat. Wait until after you're pregnant. You're not allowed to eat. What is offal or awful? I don't know what that is. Harley's putting her vote in that there is no baby. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm a little confused by these ostentatious lies. It's really odd. It's really strange. This story about being put on a liver diet when you're pregnant. No, you didn't, Brittany. But Brittany, we're not just talking about doctors in North Carolina, honey. We're talking about doctors all around the world, in Africa even. We know that organ meats are very dangerous for developing fetuses. And so when you're pregnant, when you go to your first meeting and they give you your prenatal vitamins and your folic acid and all of the stuff that you need, they're going to tell you avoid organ meats, avoid alcohol. Some doctors will say 1 glass of red wine, right? So they're a little iffy on the whole alcohol thing, but the organ meats, they're very clear on the organ meats. Most dangerous in the first trimester can be eaten small amounts in later pregnancy. Yes, ma'am. Exactly right, Rosebud. Yes. Yep. And I have a friend who's an OBGYN. She just tells all of the pregnant mothers so that nobody gets confused. We're not going to eat organ meats the whole pregnancy. Stay away from them. There's no need to. Take your prenatals. Eat a healthy diet. Don't try to restrict your calories. You'll do great. She just says just for the whole thing. So I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Awful is the organs of the animal. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. You must be in Europe. Are you in Europe? Or I'm just ignorant. I've never heard that word before. My mom was taken by people that had a grandmother that lived on site, born in the 1880s. She would say, eat liver for iron and boil shoe leathers and wear on your head for baldness. The lady was insane. No, that was common sentiment for the old people to tell you to eat liver for iron. Yeah. But you're in Great Britain. There you go. There you go. So I don't know why she's doing it. Isn't it strange? It's so strange. And the story about how she had her C-section and she had such a rough, I guess, labor. And then when they did the C-section, that she then just told the doctor, oh, never mind about tying my tubes. I don't want to go through that too. I've already been through so much. It's like, Brittany, that is simply not even real. She added a new part to that story, and I just laughed because what else are you going to do? She made a comment. She said that so when I did my live, I was talking about how as soon as they cut the umbilical cord, when you do your C-section, when they cut the umbilical cord, the doctors still have a lot of work to do in terms of cleaning everything out with the mom, cleaning out the uterus, cleaning out anything that may have spilled over into the cavity, the abdomen, sewing up any kind of tears or anything that could have happened, and then basically closing the mom up, right? Well, they're not doing all of that while you're wide awake. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of rough. Like when they do it, you're kind of like, ooh, do you have to be so rough when you stick that rag down in there and rub and clean out the inside of the uterus? Like it's weird when first time you see it, right? So as soon as they cut the umbilical cord, they give the moms medication through their IV that just knocks them out. They go to sleep. Like you're asleep while they're finishing everything up and cleaning and clearing everything out. So when they do that, and the mom sees the baby, and then the neonatologist take the baby to work on the baby. Then the mom basically will go to sleep, and they'll do all the work and sew up and get everything all ready and cleared up, clean her up, put a fresh gown on her and all that. And then she goes to recovery room. And when she starts to come around, you may not remember that you're coming around, but when you start to come around, you can answer a few questions, whatnot. Then they will move you into your room. But please, ladies, those of you that had C-sections, when you were first out of recovery in your room, were you getting up and walking around? Were you within the first hour of two getting up and sitting in the chair in your room? Come on, people. Come on. No, you're not. Brittany, what are you lying about? She claimed after my live, she then expanded her birth story to say that that when she came to after she was in recovery, she was sitting up in the chair talking and she didn't even remember it. What? Are you stupid? You would have been on morphine, silly lady. You would have been in the bed on morphine, probably vomiting spontaneously because that's what morphine does to you. And then after several hours, like, I don't know, like 6 or 8 hours, after your epidural has worn off, now you're going to get up and you're going to walk, and it's not fun. You're not going to get up and walk around. The next morning, they'll put you in the chair while they change your sheets on your bed, and all that. But right after the recovery room, you think that you went from the recovery room and they had you on your feet walking? Honey, your epidural was still working. So she's just all over the place. She's just making up lies. It's very strange. I had got a dog in the fight. I don't care if she had a baby or not. That is none of my business. None of my business. But I got to admit, it is intriguing that she's saying these things. In my opinion, C-section was done due to her blood pressure increase. Sounds like it may have been frightening. Typically, you may get up and move around at around 4 to 6 hours. That's actually considered early. Yeah, that is early. The drugs that they have you on put you out for quite some time. So then 6 to 12 hours, they have you up. Exactly right, Rosebud. 100%. And it's so hard to believe this story of she was in her recovery room after a C-section, and she goes back to her room and she's sitting up in the chair. Why? Like, even why? Why are you sitting up in the chair when you've just supposedly come back from recovery? I mean, even if the epidural, for whatever reason, you're fully recovered from the epidural, which you're not. I mean, I know that that's an impossibility. Some women, when they have an epidural, there's certain thing that happens, but some women have to lay flat on their back for, I think, is it 12 hours? What is it, Rosebud? 12 hours or 8 hours? You have to lay flat on your back because it can give you like a terrible headache, right? It has to do with the medication, the leakage of the spinal fluid. It's a thing. I don't even want to get into it. But the point is, the epidurals they're directly accessing your spinal cord, right? You really think a hospital is going to take the liability that you're just 2 hours out of recovery from major abdominal surgery, and they're going to take the chance that you're going to fall? No, absolutely not. Even if you could do it, they're not going to let you do it at that point. So you're in the bed, the morphine you're going to be on, you will vomit. Morphine it's weird that way. It affects people like that. It's a strange kind of nausea. Anyway, it's almost like vomiting without nausea. It's like a muscle thing or something. But you're not going to come back from delivery from the recovery room after major abdominal surgery and be awake and have coordination of your legs. That is not the condition that you're going to be in. You've just had your stomach literally sliced open, the muscle, everything. Your body is in rebellion. Your body is saying, holy hell, what happened? And when the body is sick or it is damaged, the brain makes you sleep because it is in stage 4 and REM sleep that you get cellular growth and cellular division and repair. While we're awake, nothing is healing. So the body is putting you to sleep when you've had a catastrophic injury, and abdominal surgery is a catastrophic injury. When you have had a catastrophic injury, your brain says, oh, we got to shut everything down. We got to go to sleep so that all of the energy can go to that injury and start building new cells and repairing that cut. So that it's a farce. I don't know what she's doing. It is possible that this is all part of the grift, right? That she knows that she's drama. She knows that she doesn't make money when she does true crime. And so anything that she can say or do that is controversial gets her attention. So maybe that's why she's telling the lies. Maybe she knows they're lies and she knows people are going to call it out. Maybe she likes the fact that there are people saying that she didn't have a baby, and then her channel regulars are being all supportive of her. And maybe this is just her grift. I don't know. But it's weird. I know that. Yeah, morphine's weird, Rose. But although I will say this, nothing works better for pain than morphine. So, but yeah, it's a weird drug for sure, the way it affects you. Okay, so BJ's playing the weirdest game or scam or something. It's so strange, Cinnamon. Like, isn't it strange to say the doctor put me on a liver diet when I was pregnant? No, he didn't. No, like there's no doubt. He did. Ask Rosebud. You are not put on a liver diet. So weird. I don't know. It's weird. I guess her interpretation of what happened and what really was happening may have some degree of inconsistency. Could be the drug she was on. I mean, yeah, I definitely think in terms of just like chronological retelling of the story, the drugs can absolutely affect the chronological telling of the story, right? What came first, what came second, what came third. But is it going to make you like have false memories, things that never happened? I don't think so. That's not the way they affect your brain. It will mess up the time space type of stuff, the spatial awareness stuff. It will mess that up. It would mess up chronological recall. But it's not going to make you invent things. It's look, here's the problem with the medicine story, Rosebud. With the tubes being tied in the United States, you have to sign your documents for your surgery. You have to sign them 30 days in advance, right? Unless it's an emergency situation. But in the case of tubal ligation, that is basically you're given permission to the doctor for sterilization, something that United States courts get really uncomfortable with. They don't like the whole sterilizing thing. It makes them nervous. So there's specific rules that you have to follow for any type of sterilization procedure, which tubal ligation is sterilization. The doctor would have already had that conversation with her probably in the second trimester before the third trimester started. Are you going to want a tubal? Well, you've got a few months to think about it, right? So they start the conversation early and then they give you time to think. Well, then once you get into your third trimester, now the nurse is coming in. Okay, here's your documentation. If we are doing the tubal ligation, you need to sign this now. All of that has to be signed before you ever come in and you're in labor. So her story was one where she just sort of, she was in labor, they got the baby, and then the doctor said, so, are we going to also do a tubal? And she responded, I've just been through such a hard day today. I just don't think I can do the tubal. You wouldn't have known, Brittany. You'd have been fast asleep. They go through exactly the same incision. It takes a minimum of 15 minutes. What would have been so much harder than what you had already been through? You would not have been awake to tell the doctor, yes, I want it. No, I don't. It wouldn't have even, he wouldn't have asked that, Brittany. It's just too weird. It's very weird. It's just so weird. Yeah. No, Rosebud, she did not. She decided after they got the baby out that she just decided she had just been through so much. It'd been such a hard day. She decided not to do a tubal. I'm like, yeah, that is not the way it works. I'm sorry. Most of us with children that had another baby, the brand new sibling connection was such a huge part of a new baby. I can't imagine what her kids are experiencing. Has anybody heard the other children? Like I see everybody saying they haven't heard the baby, but I think it's strange that we haven't heard the kids that are usually there. It's none of my business. I don't care what's going on at their house. I don't know. But I do think this is a very intriguing story. These strange lies that she's telling that are so easily debunked. Like they're so easily debunked. It's weird. Very weird. Yeah, the vomiting was weird, right, Rosebud? It's like you're just talking, you feel great, you feel normal, and next thing you know, you're vomiting, and everybody's like, oh, you didn't even get any warning that you were going to throw up. It's weird, Harley. It is so weird. And her statement that she said, you guys will never hear my baby. You're like, what? Why? Like, shouldn't we hear the baby? Like, babies cry. That's what they do. And I hope if she did have a baby, I hope that it's healthy and happy, and that Craig is sober and Brittany's sober, and the house is healthy and happy. I hope it's a perfect situation for the new baby. Wherever the baby is, that's not my thing. My thing is, why the weird lies? Is it intentional because it gets her more money from the grift? Or is she just a liar and doesn't think that anyone's going to follow up? I mean, even her loyal subscribers, all they got to do is type into Google, is liver good for a pregnant lady? That's all you got to do. It's so easy to find the facts. We're never going to hear the baby because it isn't a baby. So Harley is convinced there ain't no baby. No baby. Ooh, baby. I don't know. It's a very strange and odd story. She lies. She lies to lie, catching up with her lies. So okay, so Harley, girl, so you think she's told these other lies and she's now like in this vicious cycle where she has to try to cover up the lies she's already told. Well, so what was the lie for saying that the doctor put her on the liver diet? Because that is a bald-faced lie. Like there is no way that happened. What was she covering up? That she didn't get you prenatal? Oh, good God. God help us, Rosebud. Yeah, I think it may be a grift. Yes, a way to sort of say, oh, look, I'm so sick, or I had such a hard time, or it's been so traumatic. And then the poor subscribers, the super chats come rolling in, right? Yeah. No, Julie Skolnick and Brittany J going head to head in a courtroom. There's a fun time. No, thank you. I need to scrub my bathroom. Wish I could go. Sounds like fun, but I got a bathroom to clean. Yeah, that's a mess, isn't it? Two peas in a pod. Same person. They're both the same people. Yep. Wouldn't you be so excited with your new little baby girl that you would want the world to see her picture and hear that baby? Oh my God, Harley. I have grandbabies, right? And I was just like, with my daughter, I was like, can I show a picture? Can I show a picture? Because I'm a good granny. I only do what mama tells me I can do. I don't overstep that line. Yeah, you want to share it with the world. You just feel so happy and excited, right? It's weird. It's weird. The little cat, the little kitten announcement, that wasn't real. Come on, guys. I don't believe that, not for a minute, that a grown woman did a grandchild birth announcement and all it is just like, I don't know what, 10 kittens dancing around on a white background. Stop. That's not real. That is not real. That is not real. I don't know whose Facebook account that is, but there ain't no way that's Craig's old ass mama. No way. I don't believe it. No, when you do a birth announcement, you're like, oh, here's my sweet little cherub. Why would you have dancing cats? So weird. She's so weird. I'm telling y'all, it's so weird. She needs attention. Yeah, I mean, maybe. It's always shown her adolescent children who she calls babies. She has shared them publicly. What is going on, BJ? You got to know it's suspicious. You're in true crime. These are red flags, Brittany. These are serious red flags. What about the stomach picture? Am I stupid? I want to know, am I stupid? It looks like the same stomach. It doesn't look like it's different, but she's claiming 100-pound weight loss. Has anybody ever lost 100 pounds within a week of having a baby? No, not even when you have twins, Brittany. She bragged on the internet about no prenatal care. I also saw the wish list was duplicate item. Yeah, the duplicate 3 bassinets. That was weird. I don't know, Harley Ryder. I have no idea if anybody's seen the baby. The only thing I saw was the weird picture. Here's another question, guys. Here's another question. When's the last time that you saw somebody give birth to a healthy baby and the photograph, nobody's holding the baby? The baby's just laying there flat, and that's the picture you put up to announce how proud you are of your grandbaby? Why weren't you holding that baby? You see what I mean? That was weird. I was like, you're the granny. You live right there. Why isn't there a photograph of Craig's mom holding the little baby? Or Brittany holding the baby? Or Craig holding the baby? Like, what is that about? Look, it can happen, but it almost looks like a baby's like mugshot. It's just like this poor little baby laying there like on a white background. And the weird dancing cats. It's just weird. I'm sorry, but it is weird. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, Harley girl. That I said that is the same exact stomach. It's the difference between pushing your diaphragm out or pulling your diaphragm in flat. The shape of it doesn't really change. And this, Harley, we don't know. Do you want to know why we don't know? Because Brittany has told 4 different versions of how that day went. Completely different versions. Completely different versions. Reality is correcting Brittany. Oh, no. Remember, Brittany? This is what happened to you on the day that you had your baby. It's weird. I don't know what it means. I just know that there's weird things being said. Hey, Rochelle, good to see you. One of the first pics of my grandson is me holding him. Thank you, Rosebud. That's just universal, right? If you're the granny, you go up, you see, your beloved daughter or son, and you hug everybody's neck and you ooh and ah about how cute the baby is. And then you say, oh, can I hold him or can I hold her? And then you're sitting in the chair and you're holding her so proud. And what? They take a picture. Am I right or wrong? Is that the way it goes in every country in the world? Right? But you put a literal picture up where the baby is like a little papoose on a white background. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe it wasn't a white background. Maybe I'm traumatized by the dancing cats. I don't know. Maybe it's the dancing cats. I've never seen anything so weird in my life. Do me a favor. If I have a baby and y'all want to announce my baby on my channel, please, I want dancing herons. I want dancing great blue herons on my birth announcement. You don't have to say anything about the baby. You don't have to put a picture of the baby. You don't have to say congratulations. Just put like 10 dancing great blue herons on there, okay? That'll make me happy. It's so weird. If my boyfriend or husband or significant other didn't take me to the hospital and I had to take an Uber, that would be the end of my relationship. Harley, let me tell you something, girl. If my significant other, husband, spouse, whatever, if he was online massaging his muscles and sticking his tongue out as if he were performing certain sexual services, I would leave him. Do you understand? If my husband got online and got a handgun out and waved it around and said, oh, you like my little toy pew pew? You like my little toy? I would leave him. He would be kicked out of the house. He would be kicked out. It would be over. No. Here, let me give you another instance. If we were sitting around our house and the lights went out, the electricity went off, and I said, oh, just a minute, let me go check. That, first of all, would never happen. He would say, sit down. You don't need to fall and break your neck. Let me handle this. Now I'm perfectly healthy. I can do anything I want to do. But I would say, yeah, oh, thank you, honey, for taking care of things. I would let him go and do his manly duty, right? And so right there off the bat, I would not be the one going to do the fuse. No, no. It's not even like, oh, it's not even a remote possibility that could happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like even not possible. But let's just say that I did. Let's just say there was something weird. Okay, maybe he's sick. Maybe he's, got the COVID or something. And I go down to do the breaker or the fuse or whatever. And while I'm gone on my live, I hear him say, "Stupid bitch. Guess who's moving out? Bill. He's got to go live at the Holiday Inn. It's over." Yeah. Listen, people will treat you the way you let them. They will treat you the way that you let them. Brittany, sincerely, honey, you make all the money. These are your babies. Get rid of that dead weight you got around your neck. Get rid of him. You do so much better when he's not around. He has been responsible for the damage to your channel far more than anything you ever said or did. He's a misogynistic pig that people get scared of because of the things he says. It's scary. Her kids are getting to the age of no more grifting, but a fake baby is. I mean, I have heard that. I also heard some other I heard a discussion. I got to be careful how I say this. There is a discussion that there's a reason why Craig was not interested in the baby being born. Oh, he is not fine, Harley G. No, he's not fine. No. No, Matthew McConaughey, he's fine. Even Peter Tragos, the lawyer, he's fine. Craig? No, sorry. Not a hottie. He is misogynistic sentiment, 100%. 100%. Yeah, so you heard that, right, Harley? That he there's a reason. And you got to ask yourself, well, what would be a reason that a man would not be interested in a baby being born? Only one I can think of. But that would be gossip. I'm not going to repeat it, but I don't know. It's weird. He's not hot. Quit saying that, Harley girl. No, he's still he come on, y'all. He's a clown. Can we be honest? Maybe he could be, normal looking, but how do you take him seriously with that stupid haircut? Like, how do you even take it seriously? It's just that's the kind of haircut that a 12-year-old boy has, trying to be like cool, like what's it called, being an Edgar or whatever, right? What's he doing? I'm sorry, he's too weird. He's too weird, talking about his weight loss, how good he looks, but he says terrible things about Brittany, and her own children are calling her fatty. So that they have heard Craig calling her that, right? But he sits around and talks about how good looking he is. He's a strange dude. They say Elvis never felt the same about Priscilla after she gave birth. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, right? Because she's such a child. Yeah. And then after you have a baby, you're not really seen as a child anymore. You know what I mean, Rosebud? I shouldn't say that because everybody loves Elvis. I know. I do too. Yeah, the hair is just, The hair is an indication of his like brain, the age that he is in his mind. He's just a kid. He's just a child. He sits there, they sit there, and he talks about how successful they are, how he has so much money. He inherited what? I heard 30,000, I heard 100,000. I don't even care if it's 100,000. How long do you think 100,000 is going to last? It's nothing in today's world. 100,000, that's not anything. Women get facelifts for 100,000 every day. That's you can spend 100,000 fast. A new expedition is 70,000. All right, there you are, right there. Almost go to buy a new car or expedition. Some of the new trucks, you drop 100,000 on a vehicle. It's not, oh, it's life-changing money. No, 100,000 is not life-changing money, Craig. Sorry, but it's not. I don't think Craig's fine. Those were no, I know what you're talking about. He's not fine, Harley. He's fine. He's fine. I agree. Elvis married a child, and people went along with no. Yeah, how do you even stand by and allow that? Just like that David singer, right, with the little girl Celeste. Nobody should be accepting of a famous person taking a little kid. Nobody. And her dad was like, what was he? Wasn't he like a colonel in the Air Force or something? Maybe he was, I don't know. He was some kind of fancy military person in Germany. But just because you're famous or just because you have money, that doesn't mean that you get to harm kids. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, there's things about Elvis that are a little strange, a little off, But anyway, and it could also be that coming from where he came from, poverty, Great Depression, Mississippi, sharecropper type lifestyle, going over to Germany, and here's this military officer throwing his gorgeous little girl at him. Maybe he just never seen anybody as pretty as she was, right? And it was another one of those situations where she was done up to look older than she was, right? But it's still creepy and weird. Priscilla's parents were some kind of fancy military people. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember if it was, I want to say the guy was a colonel. Or maybe I'm just thinking of his manager, who was also known as Colonel, right? I don't know, but I think that was his actual name. I got to say though, when you're poor, 100,000 is a lot of money. Yeah, sure, of course. And if I ended up with an extra $100,000, I'd stick it in the bank for a rainy day and be excited, to have it. So, but I think what bothers me about it is him throwing it around like he was going to use it to terrorize a lot of people, right? Oh, I can get attorneys. I'll take you to court. You're going to go to court. I got money. Brittany doesn't have money, but I got money. And I'm thinking, you're going to let her go to court, try to defend herself with absolutely no protection, but you'll hire a lawyer for yourself? Oh, that's another time when Bill would have gone to sleep at the Holiday Inn. If he got him an attorney, but didn't get me an attorney, there'd be trouble in paradise. You know what I mean? A bunch of them were. Now, Jerry Lee Lewis his was a pattern. He definitely ranked as a pedophile. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Rolling Stones, but yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis, the old people even said he was a creeper. So, the Beatles also did it. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Well, thankfully, that kind of thing is not accepted. Did y'all see where they were saying that, maybe it was Celeste's friend came out and said that she was actually pregnant. Did y'all hear that? Or was that one of the clip channels? You know, there's some of these channels that just make up outrageous stories to get, and they're like AI, but I didn't listen to it. I just saw the title of it. The thing is, Brittany and Craig have no life skills. Money runs through their fingers like water. Well said, Cinnamon. But they live without water and toilets for every year or 2 or 3. Oh my God. Can you imagine? What did they do for a bathroom, Cinnamon? Oh, that's very sad. That makes me sad that she was living like that. All right, guys, I got to go back to work. Yep. You hear that, Brittany? Fixing to go back to work. You should give it a try one day, honey. Okay, everybody. I will. Yeah, it's weird, Cinnamon. It was great to see everybody. And I'm just going to go ahead and play a happy, upbeat tune as I get ready to do my job. I'll see y'all another time. Bye. I don't know why it's not playing.
Trisha the grifter strutting down round Beth B's yard. Brown loafer.
Yeah, it always runs out.
Did you?
Oh, I gotta stop the music.
Trisha got a sparkle in her
eye. Do y'all know who the Quartering is? Huge channel. Huge channel. He's burning out, guys. He's crashing out. 4,000 views on a video. He's got legal issues coming. Brittany, the gravy train always comes to an end. Always. Y'all should look up the Quartering and see what's going on with him.
Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing.
There you go.
By dawn's early
your pa knew his thing, Rosebud.
Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles, brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. Living each moment, giving truth from the heart. No deceptions woven, no false starts. It goes like a front porch swaying in the ocean breeze. Watching the sunset fade away with pink and blue ease. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close, and stars shine bright. I thank the Lord for this humble light, for the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compare